Hi, this is Ken and Michelle Bass.
And you're listening to the Resilient Parenting Podcast.
Hello there. If we sound a little bit tired and ragged, it's because we are tired and ragged.
The grandkids have been visiting us from out east, and we absolutely love when they visit because they live so far away.
Oh, yeah.
We don't get to see them as often as we would like, and so we had them the last couple days, and it's been so much fun.
Yeah, tons of fun.
I'm feeling every muscle I haven't used in a really long time.
It's a fun hurt.
The boys actually thought that I was goofing around with them because I was trying to get up off the floor and I was going, ooh, ah, ee, ah. And they're like, ha, more. And I'm like, it's just me trying to get up.
Yeah.
But what would happen, Ken, if it became an everyday thing?
If it became an everyday thing?
Where all of a sudden, for circumstances that are out of our control, we were asked to take on the grandkids.
Every day.
Every day.
I'd never get up off the floor.
Well, we're gonna talk about kinship caregivers on this episode, and so if you are one of those or you know one, this episode's for you.
And repeat after me. Oi!
Oh, and Advil.
Yeah. Well, we are sitting with the Kinship Resource Coordinator of the Southwest Idaho Area Agency on Aging. That's a mouthful there. Charlye Hahn is with us. How are you doing?
I am doing absolutely wonderful, and thank you so much for inviting me here to talk about my absolute favorite passion in the whole world.
That is?
Kinship caregiving.
Yeah.
You know, I had never heard the word kinship before until this one sitting next to me.
He's talking
Michelle,
about me. It's me.
The social worker. I didn't know about kinship. Why don't you explain that for anybody who's new to it?
I would absolutely love to. Kinship refers to anybody that is raising a child that they did not give birth to. For instance, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle. We actually have a sibling who is raising her little sister due to circumstances beyond their control. So kinship really identifies that person that has a blood relationship with a child, or if you go to health and welfare's one, it is a fictive kin would be somebody that has a relationship with a child that is not blood related. For the purposes of what I do, I need that blood relationship because of following the money.
Right. Okay.
Got it. So kin is blood family, and then victive kin is like a friend of the family, just for clarification.
Victive?
Fictive. It's
Fictive.
fictive, yes.
Like fiction?
Yes.
Okay. What?
Like
I'm
everything
not really
that Ken
here?
reads.
I'm imaginary?
No, they are totally not imaginary. What they are is they are related by relationship. We actually have a sign at our home that says our family is a little community built on love. Aww. And a fictive kin would be somebody that has a relationship that is built on love and is taking that child in and taking care of them. But again, for purposes of support, we actually have to limit ours to blood relation.
Right. So kinship families, and there are a lot of kinship families.
Yes, there are a lot. Not just in Idaho, but state and nationally. There's a lot of relatives that have had to step up because, one, the opioid epidemic has created a gap in the ability of birth parents to care for their children. If it weren't for families stepping up, we would have what is already an overloaded foster care system.
Right.
It would not happen at all.
Yeah.
Right.
So the fictive kin is one that we do appreciate, but not one that we can support.
Okay.
So speaking of your support, can you tell us a little bit about your program?
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Okay.
First and foremost, let's start with the overall.
Her face just
obviously,
lit up. Her
she
face
doesn't
just
want to
lit
talk
up.
about it, so just leave her alone.
Yeah, I know. We should probably just we can leave the room.
I told you. Thank you for letting me do my passion.
Yes. I love it.
First and foremost, the Area Agency on Aging came into being with the Older Americans Act in 1965. And what that does is it provides support for those older Americans that are 60 and over. And
I know a couple, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple in this room, but we won't talk about that. So if they call here, we have intake specialists that know so much more about all the programs than I do because they really want me to stay in my lane.
What?
They try hard, and sometimes I do. But if they call here,
If you know Charlie, you know what this is about.
but if they call here, they first off find out what services are available. And the specialists will tell them whether or not they qualify because they'll do an assessment to see if they qualify for some of our services. And if they don't, our guys are amazing at pointing them in the right direction where they can get help that they need to fill those gaps.
Wow.
So that's the overall. And then this particular agency was the first one in the state to actually use some of that funding to do kinship support.
Wow.
So I rap Idaho Relatives as Parents. No, I don't rap, but I'm going to learn.
I see a rap coming. Not from you, Ken.
Oh, sorry. That's a wrap, Ken. Okay.
But Idaho Relatives as Parents was actually just started as a grassroots, people taking care of each other. And Raul, our director here, was also a kinship provider.
Oh, nice.
So he saw the need when he was trying to find resources, and he worked in the field. And so trying to find resources, he went, oh my gosh, this is a gap.
Right.
We need to fill this gap. And so he made the effort
Okay.
to put this in, to call this.
He led the way.
He led the way. Now we're so excited because some of the other area agencies on aging, and there are 6 in the state.
Oh, wow.
Our area agency covers 10 counties.
Oh, wow.
So there are 6 agencies on aging, and some of the other ones are actually looking to pick up this baton and help run this relay race of supporting these kinship families.
Right.
So, guys, more to come on that later.
Okay.
But reach out to your area agency on aging and see if they're moving forwards with this.
And we will have links in the show notes to make it a little easier for you to be able to find some of these resources.
Absolutely perfect, and we'll make sure you have them in your hot little hand. But what we do with IRAP is we run support groups. Okay, and the support groups cover a couple of things. We do education, we provide resources, we do that social bit, and we remind those second generations, grandparents, aunts, uncles, we remind them to put the fun back into being that relative. I mean, it was fun to be the grandma and take the kids for the weekend and send them home.
Right.
Now I'm in this 24/7 and I'm tired. I'm
Yes.
older. I was not intended to raise a child at this age. But we want grandma, and we actually have great grandmas. We want them to put the fun back in it. So we provide social events. We do an annual picnic.
Oh, yeah?
We do an annual Christmas party.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we do the annual picnic in July because July is the picnic month.
Right,
Okay.
And then we do an annual Christmas party in
Wait a minute,
December.
that's in December? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, in December we do the annual.
I was getting ahead of you there.
You know, and sometimes
Stay
we even
focused,
invite
Ken.
Santa. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Yeah. We also do in-person groups. We have one that meets in Boise in person. We have one that meets currently in Mountain Home in person. We have one that meets in Nampa in person. And the one in Nampa, we absolutely love this group because if you want to present to this group, you have to be able to present in Spanish.
Oh, nice.
Because they want to hear the information in their native language. And this is an amazing group. And now in August, hello, we're starting an in-person group in Payette.
Wow.
Oh, very good.
So that will cover our 10 counties, you know, and by getting it into different parts of the community.
And I don't know if you have the answer to this or not, but I know that's here in the ones that you cover. But what about across the state? Do they also provide support groups?
RAP Inc. up in northern Idaho has some support. I don't know if she's running support groups currently, but I will get that information to you as well. But RAP Inc. is up there, and then I just talked to somebody yesterday that wants to get one started in eastern Idaho.
And we always talk about things you can do, like for listeners. And so if you don't have something in your area, maybe you could, talk to some people who might be able to get one started. Because I do know, like working with caregivers, there's a lot of isolation that is felt. So being able to have a support group specific to kinship, where, like you were saying, a grandma has to play a new role. It's not just grandma come over and have cookies with me. Now all of a sudden I'm having to say go to bed on time and did you do your homework? And so I love that you were saying to put the fun back into, what did you say, fun back into caregiving?
The fun back into caregiving.
Nice.
Because children will learn so much quicker when it's a fun environment.
Yes.
If I'm teaching you something in fun, Michelle, I can do it 9 times and you've got it.
Yeah.
If I'm yelling, if I'm disciplining, if I'm being the mean caregiver, it's going to take me 100 to 200 times of saying the same thing before you get it.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
So let's get the fun back in there. Let's make that learning time for both people a lot shorter.
Right.
And let me do what I like to do, which is have fun.
And it's building connection and relationship, which is part of healing is through relationships. So I love that.
Why do I get the feeling that you are doing this line of work because you just really love it so much? You feel
Why?
like
Because her face is beaming and
oh my
she's,
gosh.
she has so much energy that it's contagious.
Is my passion. This is not a job. I was actually volunteering with the IRAP group before Raul and Julie roped me into getting paid to do what I love. I mean, my gosh, what better
That's
win-win?
called a win-win.
That's a win-win-win.
Yeah, win-win-win.
Yeah. Also, we do have, like I said, I know RAP Inc. is up in northern Idaho. I know they're trying to get one started in eastern Idaho, which I think would be absolutely amazing. But if you go to the federal level, there's an organization called Generations United, and we'll get you that information as well.
In the show notes, check them out.
Yeah, Generations United really and truly works at the federal level to help get information passed back and forth, to get legislators to think about where their money is going and why and how it could help benefit, the grandparents and other relatives. There's also a group at the federal level called Grand Voices, and they actually, believe it or not, they're teaching me how to advocate for the things that we need at the state level, such as let's look at some of the funding that and where is it going. So they're teaching me how to advocate, which I think is really dangerous. But it's okay. It's okay. We're going to do that.
Let loose the hounds.
Charlie,
Here she comes.
with great power comes great responsibility. That's all I'm going to say to you.
Oh,
I
ouch.
can't imagine you're going to be changing the world one grandparent at a time.
Poor legislature. What happened? Who let her
Charlie
in?
came in.
Yeah, but they don't run the other way yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not doing a good enough job if they still say hi to me and
You have
don't
time.
run.
You have time. Work
I'm
on it.
working
Okay.
on it.
I can't imagine anyone not liking you.
Yeah, but I'm sure there are. One of the other things I wanted to mention is that we also work with in our social events. What we try to do is we try to do something at Mother's Day and something at Father's Day.
Oh, okay.
I actually have now a single grandfather
Oh.
who is raising 3 kiddos.
Oh, wow.
So, and there just aren't a lot of resources out there. But we're working to change that.
That's
Oh,
lovely.
very good.
You know, we maintain an email list. I encourage everybody to reach out to Irap.kinship at a3ssa.com and get on our email list. I just put out a list of all the free movies that are happening in the area. So I do the research. I do the legwork for you guys. All you have to do is be on our email list, and I send you the resources that we come up with. We also look at other things that would be helpful and beneficial, such as what organizations can we utilize to help get free clothing. We have a couple that we work with, and they help with because if you're not spending your budget on clothing, you can spend your budget on something else.
So true. Like having some of that fun.
What? Fun? Yes. And so these are resources that would be available. We also have a closed Facebook page. And if they reach out to that email address, I will be more than happy to send them the link to the closed Facebook page.
Okay.
Because you're not going to find us anywhere.
Wow.
So we can keep you updated on events that are happening. We do get-togethers. The Irap group decided they want to do a camp out in June. So this last weekend of this month, we're doing a camp out.
Oh my goodness!
As a big group. And for those that don't want to camp, on the Saturday, we're definitely going to just do a barbecue. So
I love
come out
that.
and join us.
You know, we just talked recently in another episode about nature as healing and to get out into nature with your children. Because connecting with nature at the same time you're connecting with your child equals magic.
Oh, for sure.
And fun.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about. I want the fun to go back into the relationship. You know, Karen Purvis says it the best: connect and then correct. I can't make a child behave. I can only make a child want to behave. I can't heal a child from trauma. I can only walk beside them as they walk through it.
Yeah.
I want our grandparents and other relatives to be aware of the tools and the resources that are out there so that they can spend the time doing what they need to do, which is taking care of that child that is now in their care.
Wow. That's really powerful.
Yeah. Okay.
I know. I'm just like,
Charlye really has a lot of passion for this.
She does.
And I think there's a lot of people who could be helped by you and learning a little bit more about this. Once again, it's the Southwest Idaho Area Agency on Aging. You don't have initials for that, do you? Or do you? What do you call it, Julie? Shwea.
Shawea? No, you should be Shawea.
We'll say AAA, Agency on Aging.
Agency on Aging.
Not the roadside assistant.
Oh, okay. Not the roadside assistance.
It's not going to come and change your tire.
Shwea.
I might if you really need it. I know how to do
I
that.
feel like you would. Thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want to make sure that listeners know?
Yes. One of the things is it's really easy for me to talk about resources and how to help the grandparents. It's not as easy to get those resources. So if there's a community committee or community group, business, somebody that would like to find out how they can help us, reach out to that email address because I will not say no to donations that help my parents.
All
Very
right.
good. Or should I say Shwea?
Shawea.
Why am I
wrap.
saying Wayne and Garth in front of that?
Excellent. Yeah, that's awesome.
All right.
So again, thank you so much for inviting me here. Thank you for letting me talk about my passion. And you're absolutely right. I don't do this because it's a job. I do this because it's a passion
Yeah.
and
And it
because
shows.
it's needed.
It shows. Thank you, Charlye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. This podcast is brought to you by the Idaho Children's Trust Fund.